Start now.
Yeah, start now.
Today we are going to learn the relative XPath, how we can write our own XPath. So till now we have seen like ID, name, and if any value, if both of them is not available, then we are directly going and taking the absolute XPath, which is, we are going to copy the XPath. For example, when I inspect the register here in this application, so there is no ID and name is also not there. So out of the name and ID, so other things will be used to only in the particular ways. For example, in the locators, we have a ID, name, tag name, class name, link text, partial link text, and we don't have CSS selected. Then XPath. In XPath, we have two different types. One is absolute XPath. Second one is relative XPath. Today we are going to learn the relative XPath, which is actually how we can create our own XPath. So generally, the locator preferences are first we have to search for ID. If ID is not present, we'll go for a name. And tag name and all, when tabular columns and all is there, we can use a tag name. Class name, also we can take if it is a unique, but most of the times it looks a duplicate. And link text and partial link text we'll use when we have links in the web application. CSS selector also can be used like an XPath, and it can be mostly used for the font sizes and font color and all that. When comes to absolute XPath and relative XPath, absolute XPath is an XPath we will copy from the current node, and it have a dependency of the previous tags. So how that is, for example, when I'm inspecting the register, if I copy the XPath, which is nothing but an absolute XPath, Control F, Control V, it is giving me 1 of 1. But if you see, it is taking the parent node. Like for example, it's the HTML is starting from the that this particular locators is starting from the HTML tag, which is a parent tag. So when we are copying the XPath for the register, it is taking a parent class, parent tag reference. And when we are seeing the down tags, if anything is changed in before or anything is deleted or added or updated, so this particular locator, whatever we have taken, will not work. So for sure it will not work, because for example, we have 2 divs here. Maybe another div is added, it becomes 3, but still it is not showing 0 of 0. It is not showing 1 of 1, rather it is showing 0 of 0. For example, one div is removed, so div of 1 is only there. That is also not working. So when you copy the absolute XPath before to that element, if any changes happen, this particular relative absolute XPath will not work. That is a reason we have to go for a relative XPath, which is an customized XPath. We are also call it as, or we can call it as like, writing our own XPath. How to write the relative XPath? We have multiple ways. Today we are going to discuss 3 different ways. One is text. The syntax for text is / tag name square brackets text of equal to, you have to place the text which you copied in that particular line of HTML. Right now, how to find out the text? So if you see, there is a black colored text is available here, which is in between the greater than and less than symbol. This is nothing but a text. So I'm just copying the text. And by using the syntax, whatever I have given here, tag name, / tag name, / the tag name is A. I'm giving A, open close bracket, and again text of equal to singular double quotation. You are going to place the text which we have copied. So I already copied and I placed the text. Now it is highlighting this particular HTML code, and when I just cursor on this, it is representing the register. So I feel this is the right locator, and we can also see 1 of 1. This is nothing but writing our own XPath or relative XPath. In this code, instead of presenting this big absolute XPath, I'm just removing this. Anyway, there is a disadvantage of using that kind of XPath. I'm presenting this code. Let us see whether we can able to execute on it. It is executing. Test cases pass means this particular XPath is working fine. Now after that, let us write the XPath by using another way, which is contains text. / the syntax is tag name, open close bracket, contains of, inside of text of, comma, in the singular double quotation, you can place the text. Even for the same register, we can write this. But only the difference between text and contains text is you can remove the unwanted spaces here. See, but when you remove the unwanted spaces for this one, it is not showing, it is giving 0 of 0. But when I try by using a contains text, we will check that whatever text we are presenting, so that text must be available inside the text which we are copying. So it will check the partial text. So / but tag name will be A only. For the register, it is A. Open close bracket. Contains of text of, comma, double quotation or a single quotation, anything will work. I'm presenting the copied text. If you see here, before and after to register, there is a spaces also coming. But in the text method, you must present that spaces also, because even a space is also considered as a character. But here, when we are using a contains, you can remove the spaces. because obviously this register is contained in the total text. So that's how it works. Instead of this, I'm presenting this. We'll say run the code. Yeah, it is working, means that locator is also working. That's why it's clicked on the register. Let us learn the other way of writing our own XPath, which is attribute and value. The syntax is // tag name, open close bracket, @ attribute equal to value. This attribute and value will be copying from the application itself. Only you have to write this much alone. This is anyway copy pasting, attribute equal to value. Let's see how it works. Let us do this for some other element. The security answer. See here, multiple attribute and values are present here. For example, size equal to 20, type equal to text.
Right. Opposite to Chavidu in our paper like that.
Type is the
Into
attribute.
paper.
The text is the value. Likewise,
so it is like that to news. I mean, something not a near. Calculate and order the other was.
Sumaya, can you mute yourself? Fine. So we have multiple attribute and value from control name, form control name equal to ACCANS. That is also, this is attribute and this is value. So I can take this one because this looks very unique. And input is the tag / input, open close bracket, @ control V. So now the attribute and value, I can able to get it. So what I'm going to do, I'm sending some value in security answer. I did not automate previous web elements. After entering the I'm just entering some value by using that locator inside the security answer. Driver dot so driver dot find element by. For relative and absolute, we can use same XPath only. There is no difference here. And I'm presenting the XPath which I have written dot send this. Just some ABC I'm entering. giving some thread dot slip before also. Let me run it. If this application is not available because it is having a lot of downtimes, so you people can try on Facebook also. Wherever you don't have a ID or a name as a locator, you can write your own expert. For working, I think it is taking more time to load the page. It is failed. I'm giving more time here. So it is passed and the value have been entered into security answer. So these are the three different ways we can able to form our own XPath. We do have other ways also like following sibling, preceding sibling and just so we have a different concepts. So generally following sibling is nothing but sometimes from the current node you're not finding any like you don't have a text, you don't have a you can't use it contains text also, you don't have any attribute and values. So during that situation you can take the previous tag dependency, not too long, but at least some parent to child tag dependencies. So from there also we can able to navigate to that particular element which is called as a following sibling and preceding sibling. So from taking a about tag reference, we can able to travel to this particular tag which we want exactly web element. And from the below also you can able to navigate to the element where you have correctly expecting the web element. So it is nothing but a preceding sibling. And when you are taking a before tag reference, then it is a following sibling. So these are the different ways we can write the XPaths. These are the some of the different ways, not all. And comes to the drop downs, we have a multiple different kinds of drop downs available. And mainly we categorize into two different ways. One is with the select tag, another one is without select tag. So generally this is a drop down. When I inspect this particular drop down, I can see there is a code which is representing there, but it is not the tag with select. You can see here it is a span tag, not a select tag. When this kind of situation comes, what we will do is that we will click on that particular drop down and we will click on the option we want. So generally 2 lines of code, a normal code, just click options we are going to use here. Like clicking on the drop down and selecting the drop down, selecting in the sense just clicking on the option we want to select. So this is one way of handling the drop downs because it's 2 steps is there, clicking on the drop down and clicking on the option. How we will do this as it is not a select tag. So usually step after step we are doing, but there is sometimes you will get a select tag. So during that time we will have a select class concept in Selenium. So by creating an object for select class, we can invoke the methods of select class. So we have a different methods from select class where we can use them to automate the select tag drop downs. But right now we don't have a select tag drop down. We have a normal span tag drop down. How we are going to handle this? First, inspect. Even when I'm clicking on this preferred language, the drop down is opening. So I can take this as a reference to write my XPath. I have a text here. I just copied. Tag name is span. Open close bracket, text of. Inside double quotation or a single quotation, I'm presenting the text and it is showing 1 of 1. When I just cursor over, it is representing that particular drop down. I'm copying. Driver dot find element by dot XPath, presenting the XPath dot click. Just it will take little time to open that drop down. Unseenly it happens like that. So we must going to give some time here. Next. After clicking on this, I need to inspect the option I want to select. This is also a span, so I'm not writing the XPath fully. Just I'm copying and pasting the option name. It's representing this and it is representing English. When I click on this English is selecting. So I'm taking this locator. Come back here. Driver dot find element by dot XPath. Present the XPath here. Dot click. We should also want to see. Excuse me. Clearly observe the preferred language. It is first to click on the preferred language and then click on the option. Since still the time is not sufficient. So it is failed. Yeah, ABC is also entered. Close. So you can see the test case is passed. That is it, guys.